So I'm Ethan Hee-Seok Shin, a legal analyst at the Transitional Justice Working Group. We document human rights violations happening in North Korea, and today I was lucky to be invited to speak at the PSCORE event on R2P with other practitioners and experts on the topic. And I was asked to speak about the more practical side of how to apply the R2P principles to the situation in North Korea. So my interest in North Korean human rights issues in general and the R2P, I guess goes back to my exchange student time actually in University of Amsterdam, and this was around 2004. Kind of shows how old I am now, but it was right after, right after the International Criminal Court, the ICC, finally came into being, and there was that very high expectation and enthusiasm that this new institution will finally bring about universal justice for all the dictators and the perpetrators of crimes against humanity. And then when I came back to Korea, to South Korea, I was basically looking around where I could actually apply these principles, and well, lo and behold, North Korea was right there, 60 kilometers from where I live. So that's how I almost accidentally stumbled into this North Korean human rights / R2P work. Because Nambada invited me, and obviously he's a good friend of mine, and as is PSCORE, and also on a more professional note, I was always interested in this concept of R2P. I understand that it was actually quite a sensational topic in the 2000s after the whole debate about humanitarian intervention, the Iraq War. But then it kind of caught on, and then after the Libya situation and the Syrian situation kind of lost some steam, but I recall that it was still a very pertinent, relevant topic for the North Korean situation, especially after the COI report came out in 2014. So I thought it would be a good opportunity to meet with and listen to other practitioners in this field, and also share some of my views on this topic with respect to North Korea. Well, I guess like when it comes to North Korea, there is no easy answer, no easy solution, which is why we're kind of stuck in this kind of situation for 30 years. And who said it exactly, but I recall one speaker, panelist, saying that what's very unique about the North Korean situation is that there is no fluid factors when it comes to North Korean situation. Whereas when you look at other, I guess, crisis situations like even Syria or Myanmar, there is like some dynamics of change. Whereas with North Korea, it's this single totalitarian regime of 3 generations of rulers for the past 70 years. And same issues that were there 30 years ago are still there. So yeah, it's something that I've always thought about it, but I think she just nailed that point in a very brilliant manner. So obviously there are several different human rights violations and even crimes against humanity taking place in North Korea. Obviously, I guess the most notorious would be the political prison camps, which is kind of like the concentration camps, except that it's not really a killing machine, but it's more like a slowly basically like a camp where people face this kind of attrition from forced labor, and I guess also in terms of this kind of the way that they treat the many of the repatriated escapees and other refugees from China and other countries. That's again a very horrible crimes against humanity right there. And obviously there are the case of the abduction of foreigners from South Korea, Japan, and other countries. Again, that has also been identified as one of the crimes against humanity committed by North Korea. So yes, unfortunately, when it comes to the crimes and other violations that engage the responsibility to protect, or R2P, the list is pretty long for North Korea. And it's also noteworthy that these crimes have been taking place for many decades. So that was something that I wanted to discuss in my presentation today, and I believe that obviously the situation in North Korea is still very difficult, very dismal, but we feel a need to press on with our responsibility to protect the North Korean people, and we believe it's important to document these human rights violations so that one day the perpetrators will face justice and accountability. And also, even in the present times, such documentation efforts should deter the North Korean authorities or individual officials from actually committing these crimes. Also, with respect to the recent mass deportations of North Koreans by the Chinese authorities on October 9th, I think it's important that the international community, including the United Nations and also the South Korean government, speak up about this issue and at least make Chinese government know that they cannot just carry on with this without this kind of with impunity. So that's I guess the more specific policy proposals that I have. So I think it's important, first of all, to keep up hope. That's difficult to do that, maintain this level of expectation after like 3-4 decades of what appears to be a very lost cause. But I think it's important that we do not forget the plight of the North Korean people, and that we also work together to better coordinate our documentation and accountability work, and also to try to raise awareness about this issue so that it'll become more difficult for the North Korean government to continue to ignore the international community's response. So yeah, that's another, I guess, issue that I did consider today, and because North Korean authorities, it's safe to say, are quite determined to commit these crimes against humanity and other grave human rights violations. So I think it's important that we, by definition, focus on the third last pillar, which is the timely and determined, I guess, response to the situation in North Korea. And obviously, I am not advocating for some kind of a military solution, but short of this kind of a armed intervention, there are measures that we can and should take, for example, in the field of documentation, accountability, and also trying to, also in terms of providing support and also information to the people who are basically still trapped within North Korea. Something along, I guess, similar line to the previous question, but as NGOs, we should build more, I guess, expertise and experience in this field. And some of the NGOs have been around for a couple of decades now, but I hope to see more, I guess, more NGOs created by young people, young activists like you guys, with fresh ideas. And there are basically so many works to be done in this field. Like I said, in terms of accountability, in terms of advocacy, and also in terms of, for example, information dissemination to and within North Korea. So I think it's important that, as difficult as the North Korean situation is, that we try to overcome this challenge by being more creative and finding innovative ways to change the situation in the country. And at the end of the day, that's our ultimate goal and what really matters, which is to make life better, make sure that the human rights of the North Korean people are better respected and protected. So again, there's no like easy answer to this question, but we hope that the NGOs, more NGOs, will spring up and work together for this common goal.